Wars and conflicts have always been integral parts of the ninja world. The four major Great Ninja World Wars really shaped the shinobi world as it is today. In total, there have been four major Great Ninja Wars. The fourth one has been its own arc and has been airing for years. However, we know very little information about the previous Ninja World Wars. I have already made videos about the first and third Great Ninja World Wars, and the second one was the only one which I haven't talked about. And unsurprisingly for all of you, this is the topic of today's video. But before starting, I want to ask you all to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more. I hope all of you have a great day. Now let's start the video. The First Shinobi World War ended with a peace treaty, but also left the five great shinobi countries seriously wounded. The treaty led to a period of peace, but after about 20 years, the economic disparity between the countries had become a serious problem. The nations began to form factions, and under the pretext of expanding fair rights, the countries started using military force to expand their territories. Thus, a world war started. As with all wars, the Second Shinobi World War brought many heroes and took even more lives. By this time, the Hidden Leaf should have a lot of strong ninjas like Prime Hiruzen Sarutobi, Danzo Shimura, as well as other members of Team Tobirama, as well as escort units. However, the ones who got the most fame were the three legendary Sannin and Sakumo Hatake. It was during this war that the legendary Sannin rose to fame and received their nickname from Hanzo during a skirmish with Amigakure. Tsunade in particular became famous as the world's greatest medical nin while successfully countering all of Chiyo's poisons. Her ideas and skills revolutionized shinobi squads to include medical nin she trained personally, increasing mission success and survival rates, a system that remains in place in the present. She is thus cited as having made great contributions to Konoha's victory, as well as to the current system of all medical nin. On the other side of it, it was also the war where Tsunade lost her lover, Dan Kato, leaving her with an extreme case of hemophobia. The Ame orphans lost their parents during this war, leaving Jiraiya to take care of them for a while, claiming it was the least he could do. One of the orphans, Nagato, would come to desire an end to war because of his experiences from this war, a purpose he used the Akatsuki for. It is also likely that this war was where Sakumo Hatake made his name as Konoha's White Fang. We know that the Sannin got their nickname after their legendary battle against Hanzo the Salamander, which makes me wonder what Sakumo did during this war that led to the creation of his nickname. I believe he had several legendary battles which made him famous worldwide. He could have done something against Hidden Stone ninjas, since the third Tsuchikage identified Kakashi as Sakumo's son when the Kage were deciding on whom they wanted to represent Konoha in the alliance. I hope we will someday get information about Sakumo's deed in this war. The only fact we know about him is that he is the one who killed Sasori's parents, an event that eventually made Sasori leave his village and join the Akatsuki later. At the same time, Chiyo swore vengeance against Sakumo for killing Sasori's parents. We don't know how strong Sasori's parents were and what abilities they possessed, but given the fact that puppets hold their original abilities, as it was shown in the third Kazekage's case when he was able to use Magnet Release Kekkei Genkai as a puppet, we can somewhat determine the general abilities of the husband and wife. The mother puppet wields a serrated katana, while the father puppet wields a segmented wooden whip covered with kunai. We can assume that these were their main weapons during their lives as ninjas, and given the fact that they were very formidable fighters as puppets, I don't think it's too far-fetched to assume that they were strong combatants when they were alive as well. Besides Sakumo's battle against them, it is also likely that it was during this war that Sakumo Hatake would fail a mission vital to Konoha's war effort. The impact of the mission's failure caused Sakumo to be vilified by the Land of Fire, the villagers of Konoha, and even those he had saved. Because of all of these, he ultimately committed suicide, an action that would shape his son's character for years. It seems Sakumo Hatake and the Sannin were constantly competing against each other. They were arguably the strongest fighters from the Land of Fire, after maybe Prime Hiruzen. I believe they had some kind of rivalry with each other. That's why people were constantly comparing them with one another. But who was stronger? I believe Sakumo could have been stronger than them by that time, since it has been mentioned by Minato that in his time, the legendary Sannin paled beside him. The databook also states the same thing by saying that his intensively forceful activity surpassed even the Sannin, but I believe the Sannin weren't nearly as powerful as they were by the time of Part 1 and Shippuden during Sakumo's lifetime.
they were far from reaching their climax, since we can notice that there's no marking on Tsunade's forehead during that time, meaning she hadn't yet invented Byakugo, and this also correlates with Orochimaru's statement where he says that they have developed new techniques. However, I think Jiraiya should have known Sage Mode, since when he met Nagato, he was under the impression that he could be the child of prophecy that the Toad Sage told him about. Anyway, let's talk about other ninjas. The most famous shinobi in this war who gave the Sannin their nickname was Hanzo the Salamander. He was able to fight all 3 legendary Sannin at the same time, and the only real reason why they survived is that Hanzo let them leave. He was obviously pretty strong. Well, to be fair, the Sannin weren't at their strongest when this fight happened, but it is still impressive that he was able to fight all 3 of them at the same time. Well, another ninja whom Hanzo fought against was Chiyo. They had numerous encounters with each other, which allowed her to create an antidote to his salamander's poison. Chiyo was not the only legendary ninja from the Hidden Sand who participated in this war. Chiyo's brother, Ebiso, was also most likely participating in this war, since in the databook it is written that he has a strong and analytical mind that served him and Sunagakure well during the previous shinobi wars, and even in his old age. Also, several legendary rogue ninjas will have also likely participated in this war. We know that Tobirama died in a battle against Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Both of the brothers somehow survived, and I believe they also took part in this war. I think it is not too far-fetched to think that Hiruzen could be the one who killed the brothers in order to avenge his teacher, which granted him the title of God of Shinobi. Or it could be that Sakumo Hatake was the one who defeated them, making him worldwide famous and granting him his legendary White Fang status. But in any case, I think this is the war where the Gold and Silver brothers died. Another legendary rogue ninja who I think also participated in this war was Kakuzu. We know that he had fought in the First Shinobi World War, where he met Hashirama Senju. He somehow survived his battle against the first Hokage and lived several decades after that. I believe he was hired by one of the 5 great shinobi countries, since by that time he was already a rogue ninja. Another legendary battle that could have happened in this war, I think, was the possible battle between Hiruzen and Onoki, who were definitely in charge of their villages and were in their prime. In the 4th Great Ninja World War, Hiruzen displayed his vast knowledge on Onoki's Keke Toda. Not many people know about the technique, and the reason why Hiruzen has such deep knowledge about it could be that he has seen it in battle. We don't know if Kumogakure or Kirigakure participated in this war, but given the fact that this war is known as the Great Ninja War, I think we can assume that they could have also participated in it. The majority of the fighting seems to have taken place in minor countries like Amigakure, leaving them devastated, and I believe the reason why it was not completely destroyed was because of Hanzo and his great effort in this war. The eventual outcome of the war seems to have been in favor of Konoha. Nagato referred to it as a war Konoha started. Anyway, I guess this is all for today. What do you think about this war? Write your opinions in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more. Astrojack out. Bye.